The City of Pittsburgh's new mayor, Bill Peduto, has a vision for his town, but he's not doing it alone. He invited about 1,100 of his neighbors to weigh in on the process as part of a transitional effort. Mayor Peduto back with us for this segment. That's a big step, an enormous amount of participation.
53 subcommittees that all did reports, and they'll all be available online by the end of the month, so you can go through it. But each one has a one-page executive summary if you don't want to read 1,100 pages worth of reports. But it dealt with everything from how to make Pittsburgh more of a global city to how to strengthen the ethics code. I mean, it covered all the different areas of city government.
Do you find this is something you're going to really be able to use as a guide in terms of developing your strategies?
It did a couple things for us. Number one, it gave us a foundation on a community level of what the priorities are to focus in on during the first 4 years. But the second thing it did is, with all these new executives that I brought in, our cabinet, it allowed them to understand what their job is going to pertain to from a community standpoint, and at the same time have them work directly with people in the community and, more importantly, work together. This was an exercise for 2 months that required my cabinet to work together on a weekly basis before the first day they ever stepped into the mayor's office, and to build that relationship that it let us hit the ground running.
So yeah, hopefully a lot of buy-in, and a little bit of a risk though. You get 1,100 people weighing in. They expect to see results. They want all 1,100 pages to come to life. Is there some risk there?
Well, we gave them the challenge too to define not only what they were working on in their policies, but what are the low-hanging fruit that could be done during the first year, and then what are the longer-term issues that need to be dealt with on a longer-term basis. It's kind of interesting. You give people enough of direction and then let them go, and they sort of are able to create their own vision and also realize what will take more time.
So a new Facebook page this week, the Next Pittsburgh, which seems to be a way you're capturing where we're headed. What is the Next Pittsburgh? What does that mean to you?
To me, it means building off of the past, and it means that this city is basically going through its fourth transformation. From a little town where a campfire was burning on a river that created a fort, and then a second fort in a fortress town that basically existed from 1753 up to 1816. This was the western frontier. And then, as I like to say, someone discovered Ohio. And so it was realized that we needed a place that could build the rest of this country, and as you alluded to at the beginning, build the rest of the world. And from glass and iron came steel and aluminum, and we became a global leader in building out a new world. And then we realized that in that process that there were some things that we did wrong, that it had come at a cost to our environment, that we had created the haves and the have-nots, and we created Renaissance programs. And we looked at neighborhoods and we tore them down maybe a little too much in order to build new from within, and we went with big projects with airports and stadiums and convention centers, and we tore them down and built airports and stadiums and convention centers. And now that Renaissance period is now ending, and we're entering into the next Pittsburgh. And I think it's really a blank page in many ways. We understand that we have to build back within. It's not about building more tunnels and bridges to get people out of the core of the region, but how can we draw more people back, not only into Pittsburgh, but into our older communities all throughout Western Pennsylvania, our Beavers and Washingtons and Butlers, and all those areas that have the institutions and the infrastructure in place, and start to build back within our older communities. And it's an understanding that even though we may have passed the steel manufacturing as the largest part of our economy, the mills never left. They moved up the hill, and they're called Carnegie Mellon, the University of Pittsburgh, UPMC, Allegheny West Penn. And those are the factories of tomorrow, and how we can create those same types of middle-class opportunities for the workers that are working there really becomes the challenge of creating that economy for all.
The timing would seem to be good. You look at trends across the country and around the world, there seems to be a new interest in urbanism, people coming back into the cities, back into the core. Do you think that's the case, and do you think it's going to work to your advantage?
So it goes all the way full circle back to what we talked about before. We have to change the culture within city government, because people won't live in a municipality if they don't believe that they're getting the same types of services that they can get elsewhere. If they have to pay more taxes, or if the schools aren't up to the same quality that they feel that they could go elsewhere. So that way the challenge comes back to us, and how can the city government catch up to all these great things that are happening, the trends to move back, the economy that's booming in Western Pennsylvania, and make it so the city of Pittsburgh becomes the place where people want to live and where they want to locate their business.
Well, it's an exciting time, a very promising time, and I think there's a lot of excitement about your administration. Good luck.
Well, plan to work hard.
All right, thanks a lot. Bill Peduto, the mayor of the City of Pittsburgh. And next up, building the workforce of the future by seeking social equity in education. Stay with us.